It is the Mikey Two Times. I don't know. We're maybe going to need to work on that. You know what? I like the idea of Mikey Two Times with only having one Mike because it's like having two in here with Mike North. He's north to north for a reason. Mike
Johnny
North.
Boy, listen, I've been asking about you for 2 weeks. Nobody knows.
Really?
You're like Mike Trout. You were a rumor. You know what I mean? I mean, nobody sees you. It's late at night. It's midnight. Everything else, he plays in the darkness of the West Coast. So
hey, we're going to be knowing about the Angels this season. I think everybody is probably going to be paying attention to them a little bit more.
Wow.
And as you'll know, with me, I'm an East Carolina alum, so I always have to say when Mike Trout is brought up, he was about to go to East Carolina before he got drafted. So just want to bring that fact in. Always
the girl that didn't show up for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't get. You still think about it when you
still brag about her, right? You have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I gotta tell you, I mean, I don't know what are the Yankees doing now. I should find out because I bet this game, and I'm going to tell you something. I don't know how much baseball I'm really going to bet as long as the NBA is around. The NCAA's are still here. Hockey, yeah. I love now because it's the only sport that looks like it did in the 60s, 70s, 80s. It's the same thing. The rules haven't changed that much. I can't believe if you have minus 190. And I only bet couch change, 1 unit on it. They put a guy on second base automatically. I don't want to hear about COVID. There's people in the stand.
I hate the
it's ridiculous
rule. Yeah, I don't like
all these I'm hearing Tim Kirchin saying I don't like it, and I, you know what? But right now because of COVID, BS. There's a coach at third base with a mask on talking to a guy on third base without a mask on. I mean, there's people grabbing, talking to each other. They're right next to each other. And then there's nobody in certain places. There's packed houses in Texas. And yet at Yankee Stadium, there's 9,000. I mean, it's just the whole thing.
All over
becoming a little bit insane. If Rob Manfred is just his commissionership taking out they act like it's because of COVID, all this stuff's changing. They think that by doing this, ruining the actual integrity of the game, putting a guy on second base, the next hitter gets an RBI for a guy that didn't even hit his way on? It's ridiculous.
So I thought the runner on second rule for extra inning games was more for just the short 60-game season. We got to get it in.
Absolutely.
We have time here. We have a lot of time to figure this out. You don't need the runner on second for 162 games. But I mean, the Yankees, though.
Well, it's here for this year.
Yeah, not a great start. That, by the way, in that game, Teoscar Hernandez hit a bomb. That guy's good. I mean, the Blue Jays are going to be a really good team, but the one thing that had me worrying about them is as I started to see pitchers coming in, to see pitchers that were on the Phillies last year from the worst bullpen, like David Phelps and Brandon Workman, I went, I don't know. Maybe that's the first thing about the Blue Jays. I can go, all right, I'm going to hold off a bit on them.
How about the BS? How about the BS? They want to have the man on second to save the bullpens. They don't pitch. Raleigh Fingers used to pitch 5 innings. I mean, this is nonsense. It's soft. It's baseball. Before COVID, you took out, like I said, running over the catcher, the breaking up of double plays. The netting all the way up to the upper deck, all the way around the stadium. I mean, it's just. I'm glad I lived when I lived. People actually once in a while had to depend on their wits. and everything wasn't done for them because it's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane what's happened to baseball.
The Nets definitely being around first and third base is definitely a product of cell phone usage. Because everybody is on that, looking up once in a while at the game, going, all right, I saw that pitch, and going back on Twitter. Yeah,
that's right.
It's definitely a product of the times. Yeah.
And you know what? It's absolutely right. But I remember going to the Chicago Stadium to watch Bobby Hull, who had the hardest slap shot in the history of the game, maybe. And he's the Golden Jet for a reason. He'd be rushing. And you got seats. My dad, once a year, would get seats right behind the net, above the glass, barely. And this guy's rifling. They're Jimmy Pappin, Dennis Hall, Bobby Hall, all these guys, Bobby Orr, Phil Esposito. And you're ducking. And so I'm glad they put netting up there. But netting in the upper deck, netting down the line. I mean, come on. I mean, get it together. Get it together.
So Major League Baseball is opening day right now, and we are seeing A ton of crazy things. We were talking about during as we were about to get on opening day and how much
Yeah.
we just hate betting on it because
It's a dead man's day.
Exactly. Everybody was talking about things from last year and how you should bet on it in this year. I'm like, the Phillies bullpen was definitely the worst in baseball last year, but that doesn't mean automatically they are. Like, we're not talking about the same people. The guys in that bullpen are in the Blue Jays. It's just things are different now, and it's hard to bet on what I saw last season into this year. But we see something like Luis Castillo give up 6 runs in the first inning, and I just throw my hands up. Luis Castillo, great young pitcher, and he just gets absolutely shelled by the Cardinals, who shouldn't be this good of an offense, and now one of my bets are just completely terrible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, having like a subpar day. I could tell the Cardinals are losing beating the crap out of the Reds. Yep. Have the Yankees lost officially yet? I don't even know.
I think they might have. I know they were on their last out by the time I had to turn off the stream.
Yeah.
I think they did.
Yeah. So, I don't even want to know what's going to happen.
Pirates are beating the Cubs already. The Blue Jays did end up winning. The Tigers won against Shane Bieber. So, Detroit getting a 3-2 win. I mean, what else could go wrong for me, Mike North? What else can go wrong?
I'll tell you what wrong for them. I'm not betting baseball for a while. I don't need to have people put on second base. When I'm betting 200 to win 100, you just do that. Now, I know the other team's got a chance. You got to play the game. You cannot do this now with 162 games. Kirchian had no
I agree.
Kirchian should have gone all the way today. He says, for this year, it's okay. For this year, it's okay. But I'm not a big fan. Just tell it like it is. But no, he didn't. Because you know what? Anybody that has followed baseball, I don't care how old you are, 30, 35, 25, to see the rule changes like this is a travesty and a joke.
Yeah, I think definitely. If you want to change extra innings, try and find a way to do it, I guess. But this is not the way. There is
I'd
no way.
I'd rather see them play for a tie, go a half a point each, than do this crap. Put a guy on second base like it's a co-ed league.
Yeah.
Rob Manfred's not a baseball man.
It does seem like a co-ed league, doesn't it? It does seem like a church league softball rule that you put in.
Corey is as liberal as it comes when it comes to the rules of baseball. He was a catcher. I understand. But what they've done to this game, and they want to speed it up and all, it's lasted 150 years.
Yeah.
It's the most successful league. Oh, there's a reason the teams are worth billions of dollars. These know-nothing hosts and people that are columnists who know nothing about the history of the game, what happens to the records? Just like in the NFL, they're going to have 17 games. Yeah. I was brought up when they had 14.
That's
the records don't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, that's what I always. It's tough about Major League Baseball because obviously you're going to have to make some rule changes because the games change, things change, but it's really hard with baseball because the one thing about baseball that's everybody loves is the history of it. I mean, that's baseball, right? Baseball more than any sport, more than the NFL, more than basketball, relies on their history more than anything. So for that to be changed in the record books to maybe look a little bit different, that is something. But so what bets did you have in for baseball?
Well, today? I had the Yankees. Well, first of all, I saw your smart aleck rookie remark from the very get-go with me today with Carolina, Mr. Handsome.
Oh no, you're not going with Carolina.
I'm going to tell you something. You got to know the history. You got to know the history, John.
Oh, that's right. You're a Blackhawks fan, probably, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm 9-1 in my last 5 days. I don't pick. I don't wear jerseys like that. Oh no, not really. Although look at this. This takes guts. But I'm going to tell you something right now. You got to know the Mike Razzio plays. Now you know Mikey.
Yes, I do. Mikey's good.
He told me I'm with you for life, and I can't find him now. He's gone. He's history. Basically, we would, the whole thing, then they said they got you. I go, it's about time. You're a Philadelphia guy, which, by the way, all my buddies out there, I know them all. Good friends, Tony Bruno, Harry Mays.
Yay. Harry Mays.
Anthony Gargano, Lincoln Kennedy. I mean, these people, Danny Patrick, all the guys, I know them all. They're all good buddies. But I think you're going to be the one. Okay, as soon as you can grow a beard, okay, that's
going to be a while. That's going to be a long time. I can't. Look, all right, you already found out my biggest weakness. I can't grow any of this.
I'm just kidding you. Listen to this. The Mike Razzio play is this. If I I don't want to take advantage of you on our first day together because we're going to be we're buddies already. I think we think a lot alike already. But I take the puck line. Okay. And I will pay minus 175 tonight for the Blackhawks. Now, if I would have said to you, let's just bet the game that I put in with Win Daily. And by the way, folks, Win Daily Sports, windailysports.com. And if you have any questions, I had a couple questions for me on Twitter. I said, go to Jason or go to Mikey. You guys know Raziel, everybody else over there. Even hit Johnny up. Johnny's the main guy over there now. He's the friendly guy. He's the friendliest of the three. Believe me when I tell you this. Okay. So
it's only day one. We'll see if you're saying that.
Don't worry. Don't worry. They'll never surpass you as far, you know what I'm saying? The two of them. They're troublemakers. I love them both. Minus 175 on the puck line. So does that change your attitude? Because Mikey and I have been like, the picks I've given Mike are like 70% on this. But I bet hockey puck lines. I hate betting minus, like we did today with baseball. Like we did today. Do you and do you ever bet puck lines?
No, I haven't really.
Okay.
I stick
you don't
with
want to give me
line.
a goal and a half because I may lose 3-2. That's my point, and it's worth paying the 175 to win 100.
Yeah, it's puck lines.
$10 to win 7. You know,
right? It only ever comes into play if a team is on the puck line and you're getting some kind of even money with it. But
I get Bovada. Yeah, I mean, for you guys, for a guy like you, who's a young guy, who's got, he carries his money in his shoe because he lives in Philly. You know what I mean?
You know how it is.
I lived in Chicago. I got whiplash, and there was never any wind. But so one plus 1.5 goals is one of my picks, and everybody who's taken my picks knows I've been solid on these. I was 46-10 one year, but I'm with you on money line. Carolina, I think, could win the game, maybe by 1. But that will be one of my picks. And you play Carolina. You know what I do sometimes? I play both ends.
Right. Yeah.
I play Carolina minus 155 or 160. I play the puck line. I win both sometimes. But you got to have some dough. Or you can bet $25 or $10. But a lot of guys don't like that. There's a reason they are minus 175, minus 185, 200. They don't want you to take it. Because if they gave you 1.5 for free, they get ruined. They scare you away from taking it. But I don't scare. I just pretend it's an even bet. Yeah,
and I like the contrast here of you going puck lines and I strictly just go money lines. It's all about comfort. That's the thing in sports betting that, it's not just betting one way and this is the only way to do it. Bet with what you're comfortable with. I stay away from totals usually in the NBA. Because I hate totals.
It only took me 40 years of losing. Took me 40 years of losing to finally figure out totals are a problem. I mean, I watch these Gonzaga games. Thank God I had the under the other night. I do very light. Yeah. Because, I see guys foul when they're down 14 now, so guys can go to the line. And
that has hurt me a few times in the NCAA tournament. That's hurt me a few times.
Can I make a Windy City Win Daily prediction to you? And you can say you were here when you heard it.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I can hear it, hopefully, yeah.
There will be an NCAA betting scandal at a school within 3 years. I am promising. So? Absolutely. I'm seeing stuff now that I'm going, wait a minute. Lon Kruger, is one of the great coaches. I'm so damn old. I was in Kansas in the service. And I went to his games when he was a point guard for Kansas State.
Wow.
Lon Kruger then came to Illinois. He don't play this foul when we're down 12. But his Oklahoma guy, the center, fouling with 20 seconds left. They're down 12, fouling with 10 seconds left. And the game went over by 2.5 points. Oh. And only because of fouling. I'm not saying he did anything.
Oh, there's a technical foul in that game too. Not a technical, flagrant foul. Yeah,
absolutely. So what I'm trying to say is, I don't have anything but a gut instinct on this. But I played junior college ball, and I know this: we're the dregs of the earth. They used to be, Dennis Rodman and the rest of our band of misfits were all junior college guys. Every one of us, we didn't have point spreads, but we knew what all the point spreads are. So what do you think the college kids do? Did you go to college?
I did, yes.
Where'd you go?
East Carolina University.
Oh, Jesus, the Pirates?
The Pirates,
You guys,
yeah.
all the students should have to wear a patch over their eye. That would be awesome. If you're a
That
freshman,
would be funny. Yeah.
you got to wear a patch over your eye till you're a sophomore. Okay, but did you know what the lines were?
Yeah, I knew. I was aware. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, at least nowadays, now
And did
now
your
you
buddies
definitely
know?
do. Oh
Did you-
yeah, definitely.
And did the basketball players or football players in your world that you know, some of them, do you honestly think they didn't know? Do you think that when Oklahoma plays Ohio State in football, that Daddy and Margie, the sister, and friends, like I see overs going all of a sudden, you don't think friends bet on behests of maybe
they
a bad?
probably do. But now it's hard to ignore it because it is everywhere. Like ESPN has the lines all over the place.
I love the Daily Wager.
Yeah, there are lines on literally every webpage, sports webpage you can find. So yeah, they're definitely well aware of what it is.
Except CBS, how dare they? Jimmy the Greek. I learned many things, including go opposite Jimmy the Greek. Okay, when I was like 20, they taught us how to gamble. Brent Musburger's got his own station. I know Brent. I grew up watching him on Chicago TV. So this nonsense, okay, that CBS during the tournament doesn't have somebody talking about point spreads, and you got all the squares up there. It's ridiculous.
That's the NCAA putting on their brackets underneath of it. We do not condone sports betting. Hypocritically knowing very well the reason why it's so big is because everybody's betting on it. It's just ridiculous. One of the biggest betting days of the year. They're going to say we don't condone this.
Sure, now let me ask you what give me a pick for tonight. I already gave you what I'm going to take and gave all the people out there. And you know what? I'm telling you right now, we might have for our first time a double winner in that game. Okay. Ooh. If John takes Carolina, if John likes Carolina, and
I don't know if I can do that. Wow, the Rockies are up 2-1 right now in the Dodgers. So early start for the Rockies. Look at that. I'm going to stick to
be one of the worst teams in the game.
Right, and they are. And
doesn't matter because they're going to win 60 at least. 60. It's what you do with the other 60 games.
Exactly.
You always know you're going to win 60. You always know you're going to lose 60 as a team. It's the 62 other games, maybe sometimes less, 20 games, 30 games. What do you do with those games that lead you to winning something?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with a little late night action baseball, though, because I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for opening day. I know I'm never going to win.
I'll be up late.
I'm a sucker. And this is a late game, 10:15. I'm actually going to go the Angels over the White Sox. Los Angeles is at home. They're even on the money line. Dylan Bundy is getting up there to be maybe ace material. He's really good. And I know Giolito's great on the mound, but the lineup's going to be tough for Giolito on the road against the Angels. And I know that White Sox lineup is tough, but they're coming in a little bit banged up, especially with him.
Well, I'll give you another idea. I think you're absolutely right about this game because the hype for the White Sox is absolutely insane.
Way up there.
You got Giolito and you got Keuchel. And then you're hoping and praying.
After that's I
didn't know Chen was going to even win 10 games this year. He'll lead up innings. To save the bullpen, which is going to be saved by the stupid rules anyway in a tie game. So you don't lose. Here's the thing that nobody's talking about except me, but that's what I do, folks. I don't know. There's nobody here, but I'm looking over there. James McCann, stud for 2 years, all-star. They didn't believe in him. They signed Grandel. I think it was a wayward, stupid signing at the beginning of the season because they thought Grandel would suck. Instead, they thought McCann would suck. He goes to the Mets, for $40 million. Eloy's out. You lost two guys that were pertinent pieces for them having the year they had, along with Abreu and those guys last year. So I like your pick. They're overhyped right now. Giolito, they've put pressure on themselves. Anderson saying we're going to the World Series. Eloy saying before the season, I'm going to be the MVP. Bulletin board material. They do have the advantage in the dugout, but I do like your play tonight. I really, really do. I got a West Coast game for you that we might be interested in. Everybody's telling me San Francisco's finished, and I agree. But Seattle, to me, is going to be played heavily tonight. And why would San Francisco not win today if these other games we're talking about that we thought were going to just be
and it's not going the opposite,
I have never seen so many minus 200s, 220s on opening day in my life.
There were a ton. It was really hard to bet the board today because of that. It was hard.
So if I tell you, I think San Francisco is going to win, it's up to you whether you want to, or anybody else. Well, people don't usually fade me, but I could understand today fading, but fading the chalk.
Yes.
The chalk. If you faded the chalk today, if you see how this whole thing's unfurling, I'm comfortable taking the Giants. What are they going up at about 120?
Yeah, let me check right now. I think around 120 minus 111. I'm seeing. So they're going around there.
That's supposed to be like on their last legs, and Seattle. They're traveling. I mean, I'll just take I'm not saying put your life on it. Put a unit or two on it and enjoy.
Right. But the Yankees were the favorite. They ended up losing to the Blue Jays. Indians were the favorite. They ended up losing to the Tigers.
Big favorite.
Right now, the Cardinals were an underdog. They're, just destroying the Reds. Even the Reds.
Well, they were an underdog, thank God, because they weren't a big underdog, though. I mean, were they? What was Cincinnati, like at 110, minus 125?
They got up to 120, yeah.
Yeah, so at least you don't get hurt that bad there.
No. But Pirates right now have a lead over the Cubs, so.
The Yankee game gave me this. Remember that sign they used to do before woke? You could do this if you wanted to, So that's
I'm a wrestling guy, so that's the Undertaker's thing, the Undertaker.
Are you a pro wrestling guy?
Oh, I love pro wrestling.
All right, buddy.
Pro wrestling guy.
We might have to go to 5 o'clock. I got news for you.
I'm sure you have a great.
Listen, I grew up in Chicago, and I grew up with Bob.
Great wrestling, yeah.
Angelo Poffo was a big time wrestler. His son was Randy.
Yeah,
Savage, who played in the Cardinal organization,
and his brother too. His brother,
Lanny.
Yeah, awesome. The genius.
From Downers Grove, Illinois. Let me tell you something. Macho and I were good friends, and I remember we were at the Atlanta Super Bowl together, and Macho, Randy was so big at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. 90s, late 90s. He checked out in character. I mean, he walked around like that. So I'm behind him. We're on our way out. And the lady says to him, back when you could rent movies, she says, and the Super Bowl in Atlanta was a disaster. There had been an ice storm. It was just a disaster. People couldn't wait to get out of town. You had an inch of ice, and they couldn't handle it.
Sounds like a Super Bowl in Minnesota, not
exactly.
Atlanta.
So now he goes, "I'll be right with you, Mike." He goes up to the clerk, and she goes, "Here's what you ordered, and this is what you have." Oh no! Wait a minute, I didn't get a movie. I'm sure. He says, "I'm telling you." Oh no! I didn't get, he started doing his character right there. Anyway, long story short, he paid for the movie. I go, did you have to go? It was an $8 charge. I mean, you have to go through this whole thing. Great guy, funny guy. And I mean, Baron von Raschke. I go back to the Bruiser and the Crusher. Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, Bruno Sammartino.
East Coast guy.
Yeah.
I go back. Our wrestling champion here was a guy named Vern Gandhi. He was bald and sort of heavy.
Yeah. I know him, yeah. Oh, he's a great big in wrestling history, yeah.
Oh, huge. I was coached by, there used to be, wrestlers are very strong. And I was coached by an Olympic wrestler, but not his wrestling coach. He was a phys ed coach at my high school, Ruffy Silverstein. He won an Olympic medal in 1960. Check him out if you get a chance. He'd put you in a headlock from behind when you're walking down the hall. You thought you were going to die. You thought you were going to die. Please, no. No, it was like he had a gun, but that was his gun, So
that's fantastic.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
My favorite wrestler. So I'm a younger fella. I love Edge. I don't know if you've ever watched.
I know Edge. Yeah,
very much my favorite wrestler.
Now I'm going to tell you who was one of my best friends, and it's going to freak you out. But if you go to my website, there's pictures of me and him and whatever. He grew up on Thorndale and Winthrop in Chicago, North Side. I grew up 4 blocks away. He was a little bit older than me, but he dropped out of high school at 15. I dropped out of high school at 15, but I was younger than him. They always said he was from Beverly Hills. He did my TV shows whenever he came to town. Bobby Heenan.
No,
Heenan.
Oh my God.
Bobby Heenan was the nicest, greatest man who passed away not that long ago, lived in Florida. with his wife, but he's a Chicago guy. If you
one
look,
of the greatest to ever talk
ever.
Ever.
Oh, when he was younger, he was even better. As he got older, he got thrown around. He had been thrown around. He was a wrestler. I watched him wrestle. But when he was the manager of the Blackjacks, Blackjack Lanza, Blackjack Mulligan, back in the 70s and the 80s, Bobby Heenan was as good. He's probably the greatest manager, in my opinion, of all time in wrestling.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anything he did with the microphone in his hand was just, it was sports entertainment at its finest.
Now, I will tell you this, though. We would never bet on wrestling. So we better get back to what we're doing. Because, we could talk all night about this.
I'll put it on the screen. Our guy, Jason Mizrahi, obviously, running the whole show in here. Wrestling talk.
You know what? Yeah, you put him up there, right? He doesn't understand this. I know he doesn't, because when I talked wrestling on the Score, he had one of our highest quarter hours. It's one of the most popular things out there. But we should get back to work.
Yeah, we should get back. We should get back to a little bit of betting. So anything.
I got San Francisco tonight.
San Francisco, I like that. So we got a couple of West Coast games. So we're making the people stay up late, is what we're doing. But they should be anyway.
Well, I'm the one that can't stay up past 9. I get up and read the bad news or good news the next day. I mean, they're playing these games at 11 o'clock on the East Coast. I don't know how these people did it. I mean, look at Mike. Look at Jason. They're young guys. They look like they're in. I mean, they look like they've been through the wars. They stay up late.
I know. That is
10 o'clock.
That I do a late. Luckily, I do a late show. I do an 8 to 11.
Yeah, but you're a youngin'. Look at me. The hair used to be smooth.
And my hair's all right now. I wish I could just I need to get a little bit older so I can get the.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine. Here's another game. I like that. You didn't say you like Carolina, but I love the puck line in the Hawk game. I definitely like San Francisco tonight. And then I took another game in hockey for everybody out there. And they're playing a tough team, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Boston Bruins tonight, minus 125 is a game. See, you think of every game as an individual game. You don't think of who played for them. I don't know one player, hardly. I know a couple guys on Boston. I mean, I don't know. Is Lemieux still on Pittsburgh? I have no idea.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Is still the goaltender? I love Boston. I've been good in hockey. I know Mike loves when I have the puck line. I like the Hawks tonight, not necessarily win, and San Francisco Giants, which isn't. I think they're underdogs, which today is a good thing.
Yes, today is a good thing. Today, just go against the grain. If you're betting baseball, just go fade the public, go against the grain, do it all, because it's already been a weird day. So I have the Angels. I probably would go.
You got my guy Joe Madden.
Yeah, I'd probably actually go with the Athletics as well tonight. If you want 3 games, late night action.
Yeah.
Zach Greinke has horrible opening day numbers. I think he has like an ERA in the 8. So why not? That's something to go off of, right? So I do like Chris Bassett, and minus 107. You can get the Athletics on the money.
I thought Zach Greinke, when I first saw him, I thought he was, and I know he's got all sorts of good things that have happened to him in his career. I just thought he was going to be better than he has been for a long time. Really? I thought he was going to be like a Randy Johnson guy, you know?
Yeah.
He's not that. I mean, he's okay. But when I hear Zach Greinke's pitching, it used to have more juice to it. Like you said, he's been struggling, you know? I'm interested. There's a lot of teams I like. I like to see. I think the Sox, if you take the under on the Sox, I think it's not a bad thing, you know? Yeah. They got a lot of 92 wins, 80. And no, they went down since Eli got hurt. Him being out, I think, knocked them down 2-3 games.
Did it really? I should have looked at that afterwards. But yeah, because he's going to be out a majority of the season, probably most of the season, 5 to 6 months, I think they said. So
yeah, he's done.
Yeah,
he's
pretty
done.
much.
He won't be back.
Yeah. So
that's
a big blow.
Jerry Reinsdorf didn't bring back Derek Rose for 2 years. So if you play for Reinsdorf, they always err on the side of caution for the most part.
So I will ask you, a team right now that we have on, they have a 4-1 lead over the Diamondbacks. Are the Padres maybe going to contend with the Dodgers here in the West? Last question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think so?
I heard somebody say that Mike Trout's the best player in baseball, which I would ask everybody this: how many great players are in the American League? Number one, okay, not many. You can't name Betts. It went to L.A. How many great players are there in the American League? He better be the best player because if he went to the National League, he'd have a lot more competition.
Wow, you're right. Especially
Yelich.
maybe Stanton if he's healthy. I know he performs.
You know why Stanton and Judge are never healthy? Because they're not built like baseball players. They're built like tight ends. You have to have some flexibility. You can't be looking like you. They got no skin tone. They're tight. They're tight. You got to have some flexibility. You can't be. I mean, these guys, they're a hamstring away. They're so tight, their bodies. I'm telling you, Babe Ruth would lift away for the cameras, put them down, and go get me. I'm going to go get hammered. You know, and Mike Schmidt wasn't muscle bound. Hank Aaron wasn't muscle bound. Roberto Clemente wasn't muscle bound. None of these guys were muscle bound. These two guys, they're built like Tarzan. They're built like Tarzan, and they get hurt all the time.
The NFL, I mean, you're built for one game a week, but baseball, it is. It's 162 games. It's more for endurance than that. But I guess this may be a good time to end the show. Mikey Two Times, WinDailySports.com.
I got a new one. I'll come up with a new name for our show.
We'll figure out the name, but I got to go because
my name Jon. What's this Jon?
Jon. No H in it. It's got to be simple. Real quick.
Are you happy with that though? Real seriously, are you happy with that?
Yeah, Jon Jansen. Yeah, I'd like it.
Jon, Jon, because my brother's name is John. He's John. So
I guess my full name is Jonathan, and there's no H in that. So it's like if I shorten it up, no H. But I got to go because Mike North, my Phillies just blew another lead already. First game of the season, they just blew it.
You're having a heart attack already.
Yeah, I know. I got to go and just punch my TV real quick, if that's all right. Mike North, Mikey Two Times. We'll be back next week. Thanks, Mike.
All right, buddy.
WinDailySports.com.
Yeah.